Hi there guys, welcome to the 10th episode of Daily Word Webs to Build the Cat. In this episode हम लोग जो root इस बार हम लोग देखेंगे वो होगा born that stands for good, right? We have been looking at roots that relate to the word good since the last three sessions and ये आखिरी session होगा तीसरा आपका. इसके बाद we'll move on to the next to roots with different meaning. वहाँ चले हम लोग वहाँ उस तरफ जाएंगे. Yeah, so the title, right? Would you rather the journey be happy or adventurous? And believe me, happy and adventurous are not necessarily the same thing. ये टाइटल एक expression से उठाया हुआ है, which expression is like bon voyage. I'm not sure you must have heard of it, right? Bon voyage basically means when you are wishing someone as they set out on a journey कि यार happy journey, तो उसको bon voyage बोलते हैं काफी बार. So yeah, that's what it relates to. Anyhow, let's start with the session. So guys, see the meaning of the root bon. It basically stands for good, quite straightforward. It has been derived. It has origins in the Latin language again, right? And there are other similar roots that relate to the same meaning that bon has. Would be eu, and bene, right? Both of these roots we have covered already in the earlier sessions. Okay, so let's start. So guys, the first term that we'll start with is bon voyage. Okay, let me use a different ink. Bon voyage, where bon obviously comes from bon, that is good or well, and voyage stands for the term journey. Okay, so bon voyage, which would literally, it would mean happy journey, not a good journey, happy journey, right? So and generally it's a term that is used when you are saying goodbye to someone who is embarking on a journey or an adventure, right? Think of ये Pirates of Caribbean वाले movies के बारे में एक बार सोच के देख लीजिए. Let's say the sailor is just embarking, the protagonist or the sailor is embarking on a on an adventure on the mighty ocean, and then their friends and relatives or their onshore romances, they come to say a final goodbye. Maybe not final, but at least a goodbye, right? So then they would say that keep on voyage, have a happy journey, and by extension of say safe journey as well, right? So yeah. Excuse me, guys. So happy journey is what bon voyage would stand for. Another term that we can talk about, which is not exactly the same, but kind of relates in terms of the roots, would be bonjour. Bonjour, right? Now, bon obviously stands for good or well, and jour is the French term for day, and hence bonjour would simply mean uh, good day, right? So would simply stand for you like like in French it's a greeting. Bonjour is a greeting where if someone says uses this expression with you, they are essentially wishing you a good day. Okay, my pronunciation of this word might not be accurate, but the meaning is okay. Yeah. I haven't studied French. Anyhow, next part. Then bon voyage. From bon voyage, we went on to bonjour. Then there's another term that you should probably we can discuss, which is pro bono, right? You must have आपने ये shows देखे होंगे कुछ like there is this very well-known show called Suits, right? I'm not sure if it is still running. अभी भी शायद चल रहा होगा. I don't know which season, whatever. But it basically has a backdrop of a law firm. It is set in the backdrop of a law firm, and with all the lawyers, everyone having their own swag, and and then every once in a while these lawyers they take up a case for free, right? कोई ना कोई एकदम free में where they don't charge the client any fee, right? Those cases are cases that can be considered to be pro bono, right? Pro bono cases, right? Which where bono stands for good and pro is the Latin. I think it's the Latin term for in favor of. That means they're doing this just for the sake of good, right? So pro bono. So pro bono cases like or any pro bono service is a service where you're not charging the other party anything. So you're just doing it for the sake of good, right? So that's pro bono for you. Let's come to the next term now, which is bon vivant, right? Now, bon vivant, guys, is a term that obviously the first word derives from bon, which stands for good, and vivant comes from the French word vivre, which stands for to live, right? So in turn, and hence bon vivant is basically an expression that is used for a person who's probably a sociable individual with cultivated taste and likes to live a luxurious lifestyle, who likes to live life king size. Think of a person like someone who is standing who's wearing a a very costly and a very pricey suit with a cigar and waiting for the Rolls Royce, something on those lines, right? So that would be a bon vivant. If you watch the movie The Great Gatsby, okay, and that or I think there's also a book. In fact, the movie is based on the book that's titled The Great Gatsby. The character played by DiCaprio, right? The great, which is the namesake Great Gatsby. That character is can be considered a bon vivant, right? He likes to throw some lavish parties and seems to have some very cultivated taste and lives a very luxurious lifestyle. So that would be Great Gatsby. That would be for him the usage of the expression bon vivant would be quite accurate. Another term comes to mind when which can be to some extent not exactly a synonym but to some extent can be related with bon vivant, and the term is debonair. Right now, debonair interestingly derives from three roots: AIR, BON, and DE. Now the DE simply stands for of, BON obviously stands for good, and AIR derives from the word AIRE, which is the French term for appearance. Okay, so now you can make out the meaning of this word, like someone who's of good appearance would be considered, for them you might use the word debonair, right? It is generally, and hence the meaning of the word, which is a confident, stylish, and a charming person, right? Generally not always, but generally used for a male, debonair. Okay, let's come to the next word, which is bona fide. Now bona fide, the first part obviously derives from bon, the second part fide derives from FIDES, which stands for, which is basically the Latin for faith. Okay, FIDES is the Latin for faith. So if you recall, आपको याद होगा हमारे स्कूल में, आपके स्कूल में, सभी के स्कूल में obviously the bona fide certificate दिए जाते थे, right? It would simply be a small piece of paper, like which would have maybe some paragraph on the lines of which said something on the lines of कि this person or this student has been found to be of good moral conduct, right? It's like that basically someone whom you can have some faith in, right? So who's real, genuine, whom you can have some faith in, who's said to have been of good moral conduct, who's said to have demonstrated a good moral conduct. So from that you can try to get the sense of this expression bona fide, right? So another context in which it can be used, okay, Roger wanted to become did not really want to flunk school and wanted to put in all the effort so that he could become a bona fide doctor, right? That means a doctor who's actually a doctor who has gotten his degree, who has gotten through the whole process of getting educated at a medical school, right? So that would be another usage of the word, the expression bona fide here. Another word that can be derived from fides here would be infidelity, by the way. Now, infidelity basically is a term that can be that is used in a scenario where it is used to refer to an action or the state of a person being unfaithful to their partner. Okay, it can be their spouse or it can be just their romantic partner, right? Where they have been unfaithful to them, where they have cheated probably, right, on the partner. So in that action would be considered to be an act of infidelity. Okay, which brings us to yet another term, which is infidel. Now, infidel is, although in terms of spelling there is not much difference, the only ITY part is different, but in terms of meaning, infidel is a very different term. Infidel is basically a term that is generally used for someone who has no religion, right? And you can understand from the how that would make sense in terms of etymology, because fidel comes from faith, and infidel in being the negative prefix here would mean like someone who has no faith, right? Someone who does not believe in any faith or religion would be considered an infidel. Generally, kind of this has a negative connotation, okay, and as opposed to another term which is maybe atheist, right? An atheist is also a person who does not believe in God and probably not in any religion. But atheist does not have any negative connotations, but infidel has. Okay, So that's about infidelity and infidel. Let's move on to the next word, which is bonhomie. Okay, think of a scenario. Let's say बहुत साल हो गए and you've made it to the big leagues and you're quite successful, and after a long time you get to meet, maybe 3 or 4 decades, you get to meet a few of your very close school buddies or college buddies, let's say. And बाद में फिर आप जाके you just go to maybe a cafe and have a great time, recall all the good old days, and उसमें याद करके सोच रहे हैं कि यार क्या सीन, क्या अलग अलग बात हुआ करती थी, ये था वो था etc. You're pulling legs and you're having fun. So there is a general sense of cheerful friendliness in that atmosphere, right? There's a sense of warmth in that atmosphere, and that sense of cheerful friendliness and warmth is basically what the word bonhomie stands for. Okay, इसका sentence usage भी हम लोग अभी next slide में देखेंगे. So that's what bonhomie stands for. Okay, literally अगर आप देखें तो bonhomie would basically stand for a good fellow, right? Literal, इसका literal meaning ये है, but when I say literal, I basically mean in the French language. Okay, French में इसका ये meaning हुआ, but like when you use it in as a word in the English language as part of your English vocabulary, then it would mean what we have mentioned here. Not good fellow. उसको good fellow ये आपके एक etymologically मैं उसको बता रहा हूँ, but इसका actual meaning इस sense में ही रहेगा. Bonhomie is basically a sense of cheerful friendliness and warmth. Okay, ठीक है. Let's come to the next word, which is bonanza. Okay, so you must have heard like as soon as जैसे दिवाली या फिर कोई festival आता है, people come up with this bonanza. There are ads on the TV, on the internet, on your phone, everywhere, like this bonanza, ये दिवाली bonanza आ गया, होली bonanza आ गया, I don't know, whatever. So bonanza, and now you can you'll finally know how the origin of the word bonanza. Bonanza basically stands for something that is extremely valuable, and especially something that might result in a sudden increase in wealth. ठीक है, इसका जो origin है, this word has a Spanish origin. Okay, and it basically from Spanish, bonanza actually refers to just a calm sea and fair weather. Okay, now obviously यहाँ पे सवाल उठता है कि यार तो फिर तो bonanza का इतना exciting meaning कैसे हो गया, when especially when it comes from the meaning when in Spanish it stands for calm sea, how can it have such an exciting meaning, right? Well, the reason is this: the fishermen there, for the fishermen there, a state when the sea would be calm and the weather would be fair would actually be a very, what do you say, fortunate occasion, because उस समय वो they can catch a lot of fish, right? And hence it will be, for them it will result in a sudden increase in wealth and value, right? And hence the word bonanza came to mean, well, something that is extremely valuable, something that will result in a sudden increase in wealth, right? So that's your story behind bonanza. Okay, which by the way also brings us to the word bonus, right? So jobs में, salary में, like Diwali bonus होता है, ये bonus वो bonus, right? So bonus is basically bonus points, right? So bonus points, like the extra points that you get, right? So again that also derives from the same root, bon or good. Okay, ठीक है. So guys, I think that's about it so far as the words for today's session are concerned. Let's go to the usages. Okay, so guys, as we decided last time, sentence usage में, the way we'll go about it is you can pause the slide and you can pause the video, and then you can read each of these sentences for each of these words that we studied in the earlier session. And if you have any doubts, so drop a line in the comment section, and I'll address them in the upcoming sessions or in the comments. Okay. However, just for the word bonhomie, because that's we talked about that in the last part कि हम लोग bonhomie का sentence देखेंगे. Just for bonhomie, let's go through the sentence here. Which says, so now to prove he was happy, here he was trying to sparkle with bonhomie, right? So I think the context is set where the narrator is talking about a person who probably was depressed earlier. पहले थोड़ा सा depressed था, उसके बाद now he wanted to prove that he was happy. अब उसको prove करना था कि वो खुश है, and he was trying to kind of pretend to sparkle with bonhomie. And what is bonhomie? Bonhomie like pretend to sparkle with a sense of cheerful friendliness. मतलब दिखा रहा था कि okay, he's very cheerful and very friendly. He's feeling very good, right? So you can see how bonhomie can be used in the sentence here. Okay, sure. So now guys, here you just need to find the correct order of sentences to match the words. मतलब कि कौन से word के सामने कौन सा sentence आना चाहिए, आपको sentences को reorder करना है यहाँ पे, बस कुछ नहीं, ठीक है? You can also attempt this exercise as part of Google form, जिसका link आपको दिया हुआ है description में. And here's the summary. You can pause the video and go through the rules that we've learned and all and the words that we've learned. Okay. Finally, guys, I'm Anupam Mishra, and I'm Lucknow alumnus. These are my areas of work and expertise. These are the brands that I've worked with, and these are my CAT credentials. I've also worked as an academy educator in the past, recognized by the Johnny Ive Award for best course design and delivery. And yeah, so that's about me. Sluggers, guys, we are a growing channel. मैं यहाँ पे काफ़ी सारी जो दिक्कतें हैं यहाँ पे टेस्ट प्रेप में मैं उनको एड्रेस करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ स्लगर्स के द्वारा एंड बिकॉज वी आर ग्रोइंग चैनल हमें आपके पूरे सपोर्ट की ज़रूरत होगी तो अगर आपको हमारा कंटेंट और डिलीवरी अच्छा लगता है देन डू like and subscribe like the videos and subscribe to the channel and share it with anyone who you think might benefit from these आपके लिए शायद वो एक सिंपल सा क्लिक या एक बटन रहता होगा बट फॉर अ ग्रोइंग चैनल इट मेक्स अ बिग इट मेक्स अ बिग डिफरेंस फॉर अस सो प्लीज़ डू दैट अगर आप नेक्स्ट वीडियो देखना चाहते हैं तो आप यहाँ क्लिक कर सकते हैं एंड इफ यू वांट टू गो टू द वेरी फर्स्ट वीडियो ऑफ द सीरीज जो अगर आपने नहीं देखा हो तो आप यहाँ क्लिक करके आगे जा सकते हैं ओके सो दैट्स अबाउट इट फ्रॉम माय साइड थैंक यू